Hi everyone, here we are again back in my workshop. My name's Colwin and we're still in our Christmas decoration phase, I'm afraid, for those Grinches or bar humbugs out there. Christmas decorations are where we are right up until the D-Day, Christmas Day itself. If you remember, on Tuesday we just finished the two-part Nutcracker. It's quite a complex, big project, that one. So today we're going to calm things down a little bit before we go into the next big one on Tuesday next week. So we've got Finn behind the camera. Finn's doing the duties today. He knows what he's doing, as you all know. He'll be asking the questions and filtering the questions as well for me. But let's look at today's project. So this has all come from this little decoration here. I was given this one by a good friend of mine, really good Irish turner. And like I say, good friend of mine. It's a little bird box Christmas tree decoration, but it's hollow. The idea of these is that this is a holder for a gift. So might be a diamond ring, might be a set of car keys. Who knows? You know, something that you can store the gifts in. So what happens? We've got to make a little fit for the lid, which will expose the like I say, the diamond ring or the set of car keys or whatever you want to put in. I'm only joking, don't worry lads, it's just a joke. But yes, all come from the original one. Great Irish turner Tony Ray, his little box here with a little bird on it. I haven't gone as far as buying little birds to put on it. We've just put a little token bird hole in the middle. But there's three parts to this one. We've got the top, we've got the actual case itself, the main box bit, and then we've got a little finial we're going to put down here. So there's just a few little bits of good ground turning. You know, it's just good practice for turning. So Tony Ray, remember that name, look him up. Really good turner. So I'm going to leave them there. We're just going to refer to them quite often. We've got a few things to do in terms of fit, in terms of chucks, in terms of jaws and centres. I'll pop that there out of the way for the minute. So what I've got on here, I've got three pieces of contrasting timber. You can use the same timber if you want to, but you can see, I think, you know, different timbers do look quite nice also. And we've got a piece of Claro walnut here, which is really dark. It's an American walnut, gunstock sort of walnut. Really dark, beautiful timber. And then I've got some contrasting pieces. We've got some, this is a piece of an old church pew, bit of oak, from a place near me in the southwest called Burnham-on-Sea. So that's a nice bit of oak there. Then we've got a very pale piece of maple. So nice and dense. So that's going to be for the finial on the bottom. I wanted something a little bit denser for that because you want to get some nice crisp shapes. Okay, so we're going to start with the centerpiece first. Remember that name, Tony Ray. He's the inspiration behind this. We've done a few projects since we started these videos that involve pieces that have inspired me, or turners that have inspired me. Tony was one. Thierry Martinon was the other. If you remember, we had that bit bowl made up of lots and lots of bits of timber, and that was inspired by a French turner that one of you guys suggested. So it's good to take inspiration from others. We all do it, and rather than copying, I like to think of it as just tributing to their skill. So that's what we're doing. So I've slightly changed the design to replicate my sort of style more, really. That's the only thing I've changed. And what we've got here, we've got the Claro walnut, we've got a Pro drive, so the small 16mm Pro drive. You remember the Pro drives, they are simply sort of sprung spur drives. That's the bigger one, but I've got the small one on there. And we've got a ring centre in here. Now, there are no plans for this, everybody. Everything we've done so far, we've had plans for. But now we're going into, you know, lots and lots of different Christmas decorations. I don't have plans for everything. So you need a pen and paper from now on, okay? I'm going to give you measurements, but to be quite honest, make them whatever size you want. As long as you're not going to weigh those tree branches down and things like that, then make them the size that you want. When it comes to some of the complex ones, yes, there may be. Don't forget, I've got lots of Christmas tree project plans, lots of Christmas decoration project plans on my own website, colwinwaywoodturner.com. Have a look at those if you want to. But just get a pen and paper, write the sizes down. It's just as easy. Just as easy. Then it's yours. It's your creation. Okay, so let's have a look. Glasses on. Claro walnut, and it's going to turn beautifully well. I'm going to hold for most of the turning. I'm going to hold in my middle size the O'Donnell Jaws 112s, OD 112s, because it's the right size for this sort of thing. So I'm going to close it down to its optimum size. Measure that. We'll do a little spigot there, and then we can start hollowing. We're going to We'll get help from the drill. We're not going to just hollow out a solid lump. I'm going to drill out some of it, and that's going to be my depth as well. So that's my size I want. So I'm just going to take a caliper reading on that. And then Finn, after that, mate, if we come in close on to there while I'm measuring, that'd be great. Ask questions whenever you feel free, whenever you feel you need to, guys. I will, as usual, try my very best to answer as many questions before they come as I can. I'm going to turn the light up a little bit, Finn. Tell me if it's too much or...
No, that's okay.
That's okay.
I think a few people are struggling with connection, so sorry about that, guys.
It's a real mixture, you know. Some people are going to struggle. Some people will say, oh, my connection's brilliant. And what I've learned now, that my upload speed fairly constant, but everybody's around the country, your download speed might be good in one place and not in the other, so it's a bit of everything really. So don't forget, there will be, if there's a real issue, I will put the raw copy up for Instagram later in the week. Okay, nice and quick. So there, I'm turning at about 1900 revs. I'm just going to knock the corners off with a small bowl gouge. You could use a rough and gouge though if you want.
Just quickly, just referring back to the nutcrackers last time, Robert was just wondering, did you paint the eyes on and the mustache, or did you use stickers?
Do you know, I paint all the facial features on. If anybody knows somewhere that I can get stickers, I would be much appreciated of that, because it's always the worst bit of doing a nutcracker is doing the features, because you only need one slip and that's a whole sand back of the face again. So yeah, I've been looking for vinyl stickers for a long time. Can't find them at the moment.
And could you just repeat what wood you're using?
So this is Claro walnut. Claro walnut. American black walnut, but it's a really dark, tight gunstock sort of quality really. So I'm just going to size the spigot for my chuck. There we are, not much needed to come off there. And I'm going to turn it into a dovetail.
Chris was just asking, he's saying, what jaws would you recommend for turning small diameter dowels?
Probably the spigot jaws, Chris, would be your best bet. If it was big enough dowel, then the pen jaws would work. If you were very, very careful, then we can go with, you know, you've seen me use these before, but these, now they are ribbed on the inside, just to mention that, so it does damage a little bit if you tighten up too hard. But those will work. We are working on a new type of those at the moment. I'm just trialling them, making sure that everything runs well. Let me just find them for you. So they're going to be an addition to your mounting jaw, so they will actually bolt on. Now, they're not available yet. It's something that we're working on. We haven't figured out whether we're going to put a grip in here or what, but that's for the future. At the moment, though, they are a solid steel jaw. Right, that's that bit done, so we can take that away. You have to keep me up to speed in times today, Finn. Yes, I've got a fair amount to do. So I'm going to just start rattling through this now, guys. So don't forget, once this is all over, you can look back at what we're doing, to pause, to rewind and do all those sorts of things. At the moment, though, just so we can get it all done, I'm just going to keep going whilst you're asking me questions. So that's going to be held in there nice and secure. I'm not using the whole length. I'm using 60mm of this. Well, let's just see if that's running nice and true, because if not, I can tidy it up at this stage. There we are. Just give that a little clean up. Diameter of this at the moment, let me get my rule. I'll work on both diameter in imperial and in metric. So we are looking at around about 45mm, which is about 1.75 inches. And like I said, we're going to be 60mm long. So let me mark that with my pencil. So 60mm. But this is all approximate, guys. Don't have to stick to this exactly. So 60mm, let me just put a little marker in. We're going to drill a hole and start hollowing. So I'm going to drill a hole at 50mm deep. I'm going to go quite large for this piece, so up to about 20mm, which is about 3/4 inch on the Forstner. And like I said, I want to go 50mm, so 50mm is there, so right up to the numbers. Oh, sorry, Finn, would you grab that? Oh, I got it. Buddy. Cheers. There, so we're going to go into the numbers. Get my chuck out tourist out of the way. That's a big chunk of work done there. So next, let's take my tool rest, my tailstock out of the way. I'm going to clean up this edge.
So Brian was just asking, is the chuck wall mount available in 1" x 8 thread size?
Lily, would you have a look and see if the chuck hubs are available in 1" x 8? Brian, I think they're only available in 33 with 3.5, what we refer to as a T38. But Lily, if you would check that. So we're looking for a T04 chuck hub, Lily. So inch 8. Coffee's just turned up.
Tea, actually.
Oh, tea, sorry. Right, then now we can start hollowing. So I think, Finn, if we could get maybe that way, I think what we'll do, let me just turn the light on. I'm just going to move some of these decorations off the light. We'll bring the light around because I think we need some extra light here. Alright?
Yep.
Maybe a little bit lower so you can see into there. Oh, I've got to swing my handle round, so that's it. Perfect. So we're going to hollow out. I haven't done anything to the back end here. I'll be able to do this in a second, but I'm going to start with the bowl gouge. Can't really see a lot in there at the moment. Yes, we can use scrapers, of course we can. I'm going to go to a scraper in a minute. My favourite round nose box scraper, if I'm honest, will be the Jason Breach round nose box scraper. There is a reason. I'm not just saying that because he's a mate of mine. The reason that I like his box scrapers and refining tool is they're that they got that secondary bevel on the top, and it just means for this sort of stuff, it just calm. It doesn't grab anywhere near as much. And so if you're turning end grain boxes, acrylic, polyester,
just a question.
all those sorts of things, then it's perfect. So Lily, maybe could you find Jason Breach's signature scrapers and refining tools?
Just a question here from Callum. He's just saying, can you buy different tips to fit the standard crown carbide hollowers?
There are tips available for that one. In terms of different tips, I don't know. I think there's around about half a dozen different tips that you can use with it. Whether they're different from what you got, I'm not sure. But certainly all the ones that it comes with can be replaced fairly easily. Right, I'm at the bottom of that drill point now, so I'm just going to round the bottom over and then get the scrapers flowing.
Tom was just saying here, he said he got some wobbly eyes from a shop called The Works. He said you can also try Pound World as well for the nutcrackers.
Yes. Well, if I'm honest, what I want is the traditional look to the nutcracker, so specifically made for those guys. Now I know there is an American turner that teaches nutcracker making at Craft Supplies USA, and I'm desperately getting in contact with him because I know he uses vinyl stickers. Whether they're his own design, I'm not quite sure. I would have thought so. Right, there we are. Now that's it. That's all I need to do for that one. So now we're going to match that shape on the outside. Of course you can sand this in a moment. Just for the minute, whilst I can feel what's happening here, I'm going to start roughing that outside shape.
Will was just saying, so when he's following, his bowl gouge tends to fly out, and he was just asking, can you have any recommendations about tool presentation at all?
If you're hollowing, certainly on a bowl, if the flute is presented at 45 degrees like this, so say at 2 o'clock, you've got the top edge will grab quite often. So if you're getting that frequently happening, turn the chisel right the way over so your flute is facing 3 o'clock. Start the cut, and then once you've got that little bit of bevel contact, then you can revert back to your 2 o'clock and push away. And also, your handle needs to be right over that side of the lathe. Your bevel needs to be pointing down the line that you want to cut. Really, really important. If you've got your handle all the way over here, it's sort of central to the lathe, it's going to grab every single time. Every time. I'm going to use a spindle gouge just to come around this corner. And I'm going to start feeling for depth. I've got plenty of room there.
We've got a question here from Mike. Sorry Mike, I missed that one earlier. He was just asking, referring to pen turning, how much tolerance is there in the overall length of the pen if he over drills using the barrel trimmer?
Very much depends on the type of pen. If you're looking at the slim lines, you've got a fair amount of tolerance. Again though, it'll depend on whether you're working on the top section or the bottom section. Again, think about something like a Sierra. Again, you've got quite a lot of tolerance there. I'm just going to sand this now, guys. No, I'm not. I'm going to drill a hole first. I'm going to drill that little eye, or the little hole for the miniature birds to get in and out of. I would normally do this on the pillar drill, guys.
You're 20 minutes in.
20 minutes in. I'd normally drill on the pillar drill for that reason there, that little chip that it's just given me. I'm not in enough control. And lip and spur, that was a lip and spur for the same reason. So we'll sound this now very quickly, so a little bit of noise.
Does Axminster sell the long Forstner bits?
We do some long Forstner bits and some long sawtooth bits. I think they are they'll be the fish Forstner and sawtooth. Well, that's a little bit of a 150 grit, so I'm only gonna go down to the 240. There we go. Let's part that off. Obviously, you want to go down a little bit finer than that, but I don't want to stay here all day for you sanding. Stand up in front of you all day sanding, so we're going to move on and part this one off. Ben, can you just get the camera in there just to see where I am with parting? And I'm not worried too much about that little line up there because we're going to reverse this around. I'm going to drill another hole in this in a minute, so I need to hold it back in the chuck again. So I'm just going to pass off. There we are. So that's what it looks like at the moment. These do need to be fairly thin. I'm around about 3mm wall thickness here. They need to be thin because they need to be light. They don't want to drag the branches of the tree down, remember. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just hold that back in the chuck, clean this up, and put a little hole in there to take the finial in a minute. And I should be lucky enough to get this to grip inside these jaws. If not, it doesn't matter. All I'll do is use a friction chuck. If I can grip that really lightly, just so it doesn't damage. Oh, come here.
Just for Lily, could you just confirm what spigot jaws you mentioned for the SK100 chuck?
Yeah, they're called spigot jaws. Sorry, Lily. That's their name, spigot jaws. Finn, where's the cat? If you open to the back of the catalogue there and find spigot jaws. Okay, that's not gonna grip in there. I'm not comfortable doing that. So what we'll do is start on the lid and we'll make a little jam chuck. Make a little jam chuck and we're going to hold then the bottom under friction. You've seen me do that before on lots of different projects. Just another way of holding work really. So we're going to change the chuck, get rid of the O'Donnell jaws. We're going to go to a plus jaws here. Know this because I've measured the actual top of our little box. It's going to fit in here just nicely. Okay, I'm just going to give Finn some help. Mind those things. 2 seconds for that. Okay, so Lily, are you ready? So we are going for it's found on pin jaw, so part number 810067. 810067. Right, the back of the lid. Now I'm going to show you the lid because we're going to use it to hold the bottom so I can then clean the bottom up. So if I show you this U one here, see that fit?
Mm-hmm.
So if I take the lid off, that's what we've got. Okay, it's just going to be a little friction check. So I'm going to create that surface here. Then I'm going to hold the body in so I can tidy that up, and then we'll finish off on the spigot. Because then once we've done that, of course, we can expand into that recess and we can finish the top. Nice and easy. We want to make this work holding nice and simple for us.
Graham was just asking, do you ever use a headstock spindle thread protector when spindle turning?
No. No. Not for any reason apart from I don't believe it needs it. Not on the threads that I'm using. If you're using a lathe with something like a 3/4 16, really fine thread, absolutely. 33 by 3.5 inch 8. I think they're so big that they pretty much don't need it. That's my opinion. Don't go and damage the thread and say I'm to blame. Just don't hit the thread. See what I've done there, guys? We got one of the large dovetail jaws. I can hold the back of that. I'm just going to clean up and create a recess. So let's have a measure. And we'll use dividers to measure this. I think it'll be a little bit easier. I'm going to go purposefully undersize. Little test. Doesn't matter how many times you test, as long as you get it right. A little bit more. It's ever so easy to get a little bit impatient and take too much away. A little bit more, I would say just a smidgen off there, or might be even as small as a tad, or even a flirkin. Oh. Down to the finest. Finest little cut. Look at that. We're there, magic.
Callum was just saying, did we look at the logo branders? We haven't we? Looked at a couple.
We have, yeah. Finn's worked on one purpose. Worked on another logo just for branding, so, and that's looking ace at the moment. They can get an early look at that logo, can't they? Is it on Finway Designs on its stuff?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it is actually.
Finway's Designs. Have a look at the work for he's done on logos and things like that. It's just interesting, you know, the way that these logos get brought to life. So just a gentle cut. It's not a big cut in any way at all. And then we're going to put a little hole, not very deep. We don't want a deep hole. A little bit of sanding a minute, just with those two grits. I'm going to go back to tailstock because we need to drill again another small hole ready for the finial. So we're going to go 8mm. Nip and spur, probably only a couple of mil deep if I'm honest. That will do. There, look at that. Okay, so just a small hole. Now we've finished doing the lid.
Callum was just wondering what companies we looked at for the branding. Wasn't it Etsy that we found quite a few designs
A
on?
lot of, yeah, a lot. There's tons and tons of them on Etsy, and they're not that expensive. I mean, some of them was as cheap as like 25 quid for a branding iron that you heat up. Not an electric one, but you heat it up, and you just send in your drawing, your CAD drawing or whatever, and they'll make it to your drawing. A little bit of sanding to go on here. Don't sand away your inner recess, otherwise it's going to become too loose for the body. So we can take that out. We're going to re-hold this now. We're going to remount it in back to the O'Donnell jaws again. How are we doing for time there? Feeling alright, aren't we? Nice.
Right, yeah, you've only just gone over half an hour in.
Oh, I can slow down a little bit. That's the worst bit over now. Right, nice bits left now, so let's hold this. He is going to fit on there, isn't he? Please say he's going to fit. I spoke too soon. Plan B, everybody. So it's great when you're streaming live because all the little issues happen as they would normally. That set of jaw literally is about 1 millimetre too big, even at its minimum. So I'm going to have to revert back to old. My faithful knuckle dusters. Remember guys, if you're going to use these, do be careful. They are sharp on their edges and they will let you know if you touch them. They'll let you know that they're a lot harder than your fingers are. So I'm going to expand into that. Just gently, I don't want to create issues and breakages and all those sorts of things. So that out of the way just for a minute. Right, so nice delicate cuts with a 1/4 inch bowl gouge or 6mm bowl gouge, sorry. And we'll create a little hook on the top. Hook on the top, what am I talking about? A bead on the top. Okay, we need something to thread the Christmas ribbon through. Alright, so that sort of shape for me. I'm going to put the dust extractor on here, guys. This is really dry stuff. Little OG sort of platform there, really, a little line. Go now with a skew, so I'm just going to create that bead. We're a little bit too wide there at the moment. Let's just take some time out of the way. Maybe that's my teeth. Dust control. So what we'll do is we'll just sand this edge over. Watch your fingers. So you get the idea. Get the idea. This is a lovely bit of timber. This is this old oak. You've got these medulla erasures sort of streaking through it. So it's lovely stuff. So 2 bits finished. Let's just take that one off. You can see you have there. Obviously, you're going to put a little hole through here for the ribbon. All right, and then that one's going to pop on there. We've got our little bird box done so far. We just need to create a little spindle, the little finial down the bottom. We're going to keep the chuck on there. This is mainly going to be a mixture of spindle gouge and skew chisel. And we're using that nice little bit of maple. Finials are lovely to play with. Do them as long or as short as you want to. Get that centered up as best as I can. That's not too bad. You do have a tenon to think about. And it's only a short tenon, we don't need it very long. This will be glued in. I'm going to glue this bit in. So this is just a spindle gouge. I'm just roughing down with it at the moment. Use the skew chisel. Playing around with tool rest heights just for the moment, just while we get this done. And you need a fairly fast lathe speed to do this.
Terry was just asking, would you know where he could get a back plate like the one on your chuck? He said he's just bought the 508.
Right, okay. I'm honest, I don't, Terry. My most helpful answer will be keep looking on things like the wood turning forums, maybe ask there, certainly eBay, places like that. If you search back plates, and the word to put in is precision chuck, that is what they were known as. Forge your precision chuck. What am I going to do here? I'm going to do another little tear. Let me just get my finger underneath. Yeah, sorry I couldn't be more helpful on that one. I don't know who makes them now, if anyone. should we do up here? Let's do another one of those beads.
Minutes in.
To us.
Stuart's asking, is that a small skew chisel that you're using?
This is the yes, it is, Stuart. It's the everyone's gonna eyes in the head now. Everybody, it's the Colwin signature skew chisel. I seem to get about 10 mentions in for them every live stream I do. So thanks for asking the question. So we're going to put a little tenon in about here. And that tenon needs to be 8mm. So I'll measure the drill bit we use to do the hole in the bottom of the main body.
Chris was just asking, would you be able to spell out Tony Ray's name? He's just struggling with the spelling.
R-A-E. R-A-E. Oh, let's what should we do? Let's do another one of them. We'll do a widget into a thingamy-bob. A little bit of sanding, and I think that'll be enough for that one. I'm going to keep the tool rest there while I'm sanding, because that's so thin. I'm going to use that just to steady myself. Any questions that I haven't got to, guys, or you didn't want to ask with everyone watching or whatever? And no question is a silly question. If you don't know the answer, it's not a silly question. Please just keep them coming, put them on Facebook, email them in, whatever. Just get them to me. I will answer them. We do get to all the questions eventually. That'll do us. Hopefully I haven't gone too small on the tenon. We'll see in a minute. Okay. I just need to take that little nib away that's here before we put it all together. I'm just going to use a little carving. I can come back a bit now, Finn. see that put together. That was luck over judgment, I think. Right, let me just get one of the others just so we can compare, see what we're looking to do. So obviously with the addition now of a hole in here, a little bit of Christmas ribbon, and the diamond ring, all the Jag car keys on the Christmas tree. That's a nice little surprise gift, I would say. You know, you can hide that on the tree and let whoever is lucky enough to open it. And then literally the gift, there we are, will be hiding or lurking inside there. So, wood dimensions, I can give you rough dimensions again. We're going 60 mil long on the main body. It was about 45 in diameter. We're around about 65 to 70 in diameter here, by about 30 in depth. Overall length of that, overall length of the finial, sorry Finn, was external was 80 mil, so it's about a 3 mil tenon as well, so if you said about 80, 83. And overall length of the whole piece there is around about 160 millimeters, so just over the 6 inches, so about 6 1/4 inches. But like I said, you know, it's entirely up to you. You can bend and manipulate those sizes to suit yourself. That one's, Tony's here is much smaller, but yeah, you never know. You might want something a little bigger to put in it, but not too heavy. That's the key thing. It has to be really, really quite light to use. So, again, I hope you've enjoyed yourself, guys. Thank you ever so much for sparing the time to sit there and watch me waffle on and make these things. I really do appreciate it. Join me next Tuesday. We're going to start something a bit bigger, or again a two-parter. So we're going to do a candle-powered Christmas carousel. So if ever you've seen those German creations, the pyramids, the Christmas pyramids, that's what we're going to be making. We're going to do a single tier on that one, but I'm going to show you a 3-tiered one that is in this month's Wood Turning magazine, again as a two-parter. So there's a lot to do on that one, so get your pen and paper ready for Tuesday, 4 o'clock at my place. I've been Colwin. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you, and bye-bye.